Incoming transmission from an unknown source. It seems to be urgent. Patching them through. They're calling themselves the HoloNet Marauders.
Hey everybody, welcome back to the HoloNet Marauders podcast. Matt, you look frozen. Oh, you're back.
This computer is chugging along. I'm getting a new one in like a week. Thank God.
You looked like a 8-bit video game there for a minute.
The title just froze and I'm sitting there like, oh, great. I don't
Anywho,
even know what to do.
we're back to talk some Star Wars. Last episode we talked indie. This is episode 109. Jamie's not here today. She is here. I can tell you where she is. She's in her craft room working on a costume. And I don't have anything to do. So I was like, Matt, let's do the podcast episode.
All right.
And it's funny when Matt and I do things on our own without we're at our best with Jamie, but
Yes.
we get a little sillier and it's a different dynamic with the two of us.
Yeah.
Which
We're
I think
off the
we've only done
rails
it.
all over the place.
We've only done it on our bonus episodes on our Patreon.
You're telling me we've never done a podcast, just the two of us?
Not like a regular one.
You guys have done podcasts without me, obviously.
Yeah, we have.
Huh.
But
That's
speaking of
weird.
which, subscribe to our Patreon.
All right.
We have a lot of supporters on there right now. We could always use all the support we could get. It really goes a long way to help the show. If you're a fan of the show, consider supporting us.
Spread the word.
Spread the word. Starts as little as $1, and we've been having monthly giveaways starting. I haven't announced what it will be for this month, but for last month, it was a retro Luke Skywalker figure in the box. And one of our good friends, that's one of our supporters, won it. And I'm happy for them and can't wait to see what the thing is for this month and who wins that. But yeah, we have a lot planned for that. Game nights, whatchamacallit, commentaries. I was like, conversations. Commentaries on the films, which Matt was over last week. Totally forgot to do that. We got to start with Phantom Menace.
100. Oh my God. That's going to be like an 8-hour commentary. We're going to be talking. The credits are going to be rolling. The DVD menu is going to be rolling.
Oh yeah. I feel like we almost need to like wait a while. Like I haven't really watched a Star Wars movie from beginning to end in a while. Like it'll be on TV and I'll tune in. Like Return of the Jedi's been on a lot. And the sequels have been on a lot too. We watched Rise of Skywalker, I think, with you a little bit last week, Last Jedi. Yeah. But yeah, well, those will be coming one day. The game nights, like I said, we'll figure that out.
We got to watch the Phantom Menace on VHS. That's
the way it has to be done. Yeah,
that's the way we got to commentate.
See, I couldn't think of the word either. But
it's commentate, right? But it feels weird because it's like commentary, so it should just be like comment. But I'm pretty sure the word is commentate. I think
you're right. Commentator.
Yeah.
I don't know. Anywho, we don't know what we're talking about. But when it comes to Star Wars, we sort of know what we're talking about. But once again, we do have a Patreon. I'm terrible at promoting it, and I probably should at the beginning of every episode. Pardon me.
I'm gonna hold you to that. I'm gonna forget to.
You guys got to remind me because whenever it just happened this episode, we started. You were frozen. You looked like 8-bit Donkey Kong on the. I don't know. On the what's the oldest console I can think of? What did Donkey Kong premiere on?
It was the Nintendo Entertainment System, but really the arcade.
True. Anyways, you looked like that. I'm drinking my tea here, and I forgot about the Patreon. But if you notice, Matt has a new mic today. He sounds like the Velvet Fog.
Here I am.
So,
hello. Nice. Welcome to the show.
He has some ASMR videos coming, I think.
Oh yeah, totally.
Some I don't know if that picked up or not.
Me playing with spaceships.
So to kick us off, other than talking about our Patreon, I had an idea to there's this card game coming out. It's not really a game. It's Star Wars.
It's a lifestyle.
It's a lifestyle. Star Wars 125 conversation cards.
What the hell?
I told you guys about it a while ago. You, meaning Matt and Jamie. And I was like, oh, it doesn't come out till August, but it would be such it'd be the best thing for our live streams of just
that'd be
sitting
great.
back, shooting the breeze, talking about, we have 125 topics to talk about pretty much with that.
That'd be awesome.
It comes out in August, I think August 1st. So I'm looking forward to getting that. and we can do more live streams, fun things like that, which we're gonna be doing anyways. And I didn't even tell Matt about this, but
he didn't tell me even what we're talking about today. I just came on.
Those are the best episodes sometimes.
All right. I'm along for the ride.
We'll have some new live streams coming up before Ahsoka starts in about a month and a half.
Just about, yeah. It's like the last week in August, right?
Yeah. So I have 2 questions from this game that were just like shown with the display. So I was like, okay, let's do 2.
All right.
Kind of
we'll start it off.
Yeah. So, which Star Wars character do you wish was your best friend? It's a tough one.
That is a tough one because there are a lot of very good friends in Star Wars.
Would you want to choose someone that would always have your back? Like, would you want to have someone intimidating that would always have your back, or would you rather have someone that's like?
Well, if I'm picking somebody who's intimidating and always has my back, that's Chewie. But that's too easy.
True. That's the easiest answer.
That's the easiest answer around.
I'd probably just go Qui-Gon. You can answer Qui-Gon for anything, and that's the best.
That's
answer.
Probably true. He could cheat at dice with you.
You could gamble with them, and exactly.
You could take him to the casino.
He'd be like Rain Man.
Basically, Qui-Gon Rain Man. Yes. He's at the craps table.
Who else would be good? Chewie's the best answer. Qui-Gon, that's probably my choice.
Yeah, Chewie's so easy.
Who would be the worst answer?
Who would be the worst answer?
But even the worst answer is good. If you had Jabba the Hutt, like Jabba the Hutt's your best friend, so like you have a lot of power with that.
That's true. Same with like Boss Nass. I don't know why I thought of Boss Nass as a bad friend, but that was the first thing that came to mind was Boss Nass. Or Zam friend. Wessel. We know Jango Fett's a bad friend because Zam Wessel and Jango Fett were really good friends, and then as soon as she gets caught, he's just all
business. He's out of there.
Yeah, so not good friendship there.
Would Vader be a good best friend?
Not at all.
No.
Vader. First of all, Vader doesn't have friends. He has no friends.
Anakin, yes. Vader, no.
Anakin, yes. Yeah, sure. But as soon as he turns into Vader, he's a downer after that. He's going to be sitting around moping the whole time. And if you piss him off, he'll just choke you out. Like there's
Palpatine.
Palpatine would be a great friend.
Yeah,
Palpatine was such a good friend that he literally like single-handedly took Anakin with him.
Yeah. And if you notice in the movies and in the comics, everything, he always says my friend to Vader. Yeah, hey, my friend. And it's like Vader's like, F off, dude. I hate you. You're not my friend. You're like 50 years older than me.
No, they're best friends. And I honestly, that's a good friendship right there between the two of them. Palpatine always keeping Vader on his toes.
If you guys haven't read the Star Wars comics, like you're missing out. Like
I'm
just thinking of that. Matt talks about them every day. Like he's the master of them now. But the Vader Palpatine relationship in those, it's pretty much like the Lego things, the Lego shorts they were making, the Lego holiday specials, like where Vader and Palpatine are just a bunch of goofballs going around. It almost reminds me of like Stewie Vader.
Yeah, kinda
from Family Guy, but yeah, they're like that in the comics. Obviously, a lot more serious, but like it's great. Palpatine's hilarious in a good way.
Yeah, he's legitimately like he's just always scheming. He always has like that shit-eating grin on his face, and he's always like, I'm gonna mess with you today, Vader. Like every morning he wakes up and the first thing he does is like write down like, oh, I had this really good idea last night, how I'm gonna mess with Vader. Every day he's got like a whole list of things. But yeah, it's a lot of fun. I would say a good Star Wars friend would be for me. I'm gonna go with the Eye of Webbish Bog because he seems like a really chill dude who knows how to party.
Wayfinder with you.
He would share the Wayfinder with me because I'd answer all his riddles, his riddles.
Huh? Yeah, not who I would choose, but that's a classic Matt answer.
That's an intimidating guy who always got your back.
I always forget he's the spider on the baby's head.
And not the baby?
Actual baby's head.
So actually, I get two friends.
Is the baby like alive?
I don't know. I have no idea. I would assume so. Otherwise, it would have probably just rotted away underneath him, and he wouldn't have anybody to float on.
Because he's kind of like a parasite.
Yeah. I have no idea.
Anyways, that's a discussion for another day. But the other question that is demoed here is a bit deeper, but probably easier to answer. So Luke Skywalker says, confronting fear is the destiny of a Jedi. Have you faced a fear? What happened?
Have I? No, I've never been scared in my life. Actually, I don't know if you
Well,
knew
you could be
that.
scared, but have you ever faced your fears?
Yeah, dude, I've been playing Alien Isolation lately.
Which I
And let
want to
me let
play,
me
but
tell you,
I can't face my fear and play that. But I
I'm
really want to
facing
play
my
it.
fears right now, and
Is it that scary?
it's pretty scary. Like, I'm not a
Ah,
person who gets easily, like, scared of, like, movies, but this game knows how to make your heart race. Like, half the time, like, I know it's fake, and I'm sitting there, like, not actually scared, but my palms are still sweaty, and my adrenaline is still, like, just churning, and I'm like,
it must be
"Oh
the
my
music.
god." It's the sound design. The sound design of
Yeah.
this game is the best sound design I've ever heard in a video game. And it makes you so uncomfortable. I mean, when you're just walking down the hall, you hear people talking down the hall that you know you're going to have to confront, and then all of a sudden you just hear like above your head, and you're like, "Oh my god, he's here!" And then like you gotta like, what do? You hide, and as soon as you hide, you hear the alien just go doof, and then you just hear his footsteps like doo 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 as he's like stalking around,
Oh my god.
and I'm just sitting there like, Jesus, this guy.
Yeah, I've been wanting to play that for years. I think it's free on Game Pass, but
It's
too afraid.
insanely good. If you ever want to play it while I'm over and it's daylight, might be a fun
I would watch you play it.
adventure. I don't want to play it again. I'm
Oh,
barely
you
making it through
finished
the
it?
first time. No, I'm
Oh,
on
okay.
chapter 7 out of 18. This game is long as hell
Wow.
for a horror game. I played like 5 hours, and
Wow, that's a
I'm
lot.
barely even through.
So, facing fears. I don't like flying, and I went on a plane
He,
last year.
guys, he faced his fear. I was there. That was
Um,
pretty good. For a real answer, I would say probably moving off to college and then moving off. I would say the biggest thing I've done in terms of facing my fear was moving to California for school for 3
that is a
months.
lot. That is crazy.
Because I mean, first of all, I had just got my driver's license like a week before I left for California. And I was so like, I'm a fresh new driver who's preparing to drive the streets of Los Angeles. We were staying in a hostel. Obviously, you don't know anybody. We didn't even have an internship lined up when we flew out there. So we were literally just going out there, just gung ho. Let's see what happens.
Isn't that the LA way though?
Yeah, kind of.
You got to go out there with like, you got to go gung ho. So,
And then in true LA fashion, it became too expensive, and I had to go home. But for the 3 months I was out there, I had a blast. But it was scary going out there, and we missed our flight because I brought my Wii U. And nobody at the airport knew what a Wii U was.
Was it you were with our friend Shelby?
Yeah.
You guys always miss flights.
We've missed, yeah. Well,
Whether it was your fault or not your fault.
yeah, I was about to say the time when we're sitting at the airport watching Notre Dame burn down, and
After
friggin'
Celebration
American Airlines
Chicago.
is canceling our flight, and we had to stay at Des Plaines, the place where John Wayne Gacy was from, which I didn't even know until after I left. I'm so disappointed because I would have tried to go around and been like, "Ooh,
Wow.
what's over here?" We ate at this diner. It was the greatest diner. It was like pure Americana, and the waitress was like
Classic Midwest.
Dude, the waitress was like classic, like just smoked a cigarette, like coming back in, curly hair, like she lives in a trailer, and she's like, "What can I get you, doll?" It's great. Awesome stuff.
Oh man, that's really
So
good.
face your fears, and you'll have a fun time like Ray when she went to Exegol. Really had a fun time.
You might go to Exegol or you might go to Des Plaines.
Either way, you might not make it out alive. Take your pick.
So our next little segment here is Indiana Jones and the Dial of Destiny.
Oh yeah.
We had a little preview for it where we talked about all the indie films and all the indie stuff for the most part. Oh, we forgot to talk about the ride
We
in
completely
Disneyland.
dropped that because that's some of our favorite indie content is the ride, just for the line, just for the Sala intro.
The line, we always joke the line is the ride, but the line is the ride with that.
The line is the ride for sure.
But yeah, but the movie Dial of Destiny.
Yep.
I saw it, I think a couple of days before you saw it, Matt. I saw it the day it came out to the public. And you saw it that Saturday. And I liked it. Like, I didn't love it, but the more time that goes by, I really like it more. I don't know why. I think part of it is because I know a couple people that like are like, "Oh, I heard it's bad," and I have a whole thing with this. But I heard it was bad. I'm not seeing that. Like, anti-Lucasfilm, anti-Captain Kennedy people, and I'm like, F off. Go see the movie. It's not bad. So I think that has made my love for it grow a bit more. Because it wasn't bad at all.
It's not
Like,
offensively bad. I do not know why
and
people think it's bad. I thought
I
it
don't.
was fun. I thought
It's
I had a blast.
it's absolutely not bad. Like, it didn't
No,
blow me away, but it wasn't. I don't think it was supposed to. Like,
I
maybe I
don't.
fell victim to like I wanted to be wowed.
It
Like,
doesn't.
it's no Raiders. It's
Yeah, it
no
doesn't trump the
Last
first
Crusade.
3 for
Yeah,
me. But who expects it to? I don't really expect
some
these
people, I guess.
movies to be, better than the original 3. The original 3 are like permanently ingrained in my brain as just some of my favorite movies of all time.
Yeah,
I'm just looking to have a good time. I texted AJ after the movie ended and I said, that's the most fun I've had in a movie theater since the pandemic started. And
which
I
isn't
mean that.
saying much, but it's still good.
I mean, I've seen a lot of movies.
I know, but there hasn't been like anything amazing. Like, I feel like there hasn't been anything mind blowing out, really. I mean,
guess.
I know No Way Home. Yeah, No Way
No Way
Home.
Home.
You had more fun in this than No Way Home.
I had more fun in this than No Way Home.
Because that
Guys,
movie was built to have
that
fun at the
movie was
theater.
built. I haven't watched it since the theater because that movie is a theater movie.
Yeah.
But I had more fun at Dial of Destiny. And maybe that's just because I'm a sucker for Indiana Jones, even though Spider-Man is also one of my favorite things of all time.
Yeah.
But I don't know, man. There's just something about like this was just a classic indie adventure that gave us some like really great set pieces, some really great indie set pieces. And I'm
Great
all
set pieces.
about the indie set pieces. That's what I love the most is what kind of crazy situations can we get Indiana Jones and where are they?
Yeah.
And they did a great job. I thought, I don't know, I don't want to get into too deep spoiler territory or anything like that, but I will say this movie has like a focus on the Mediterranean. And I thought that was pretty cool because we really haven't gotten that.
Yeah.
Number 1 was mostly in the desert. Number 3 is mostly in the desert.
I think Fate of Atlantis, you might go to the Mediterranean.
Yeah, well, Fate of Atlantis, yeah.
That's one of the games.
Well, this movie feels like it was a combination of Fate of Atlantis and a little bit of the Spear of Destiny, which, I mean, the movie's name, Dial of Destiny. But honestly, like there's an Easter egg to the Spear of Destiny at the beginning of the movie, which plays into, questions of whether or not, because I mean, it fits pretty well into what is established in the Spear of Destiny series. But
yeah,
I'm going on a tangent. I could talk about indie continuity for hours, but the point is, I had a lot of fun with Dial of Destiny, and I think I'm the person that liked it the most in the group. My friend Zach he was pretty disappointed when the movie ended.
Between
he
your
saw it
friend
again
group...
today with his dad.
Oh, he did,
and he said he liked it more. He said it's still his least favorite, but he said he's warming up to it. He likes it more. So
okay,
all right, I'll take it, I guess.
Interesting. I mean, I can't imagine watching it again and thinking it's like worse, like in Zach's case. So
true.
But yeah, between your friend group there, between Jamie and I, you definitely liked it the most.
Yeah, I was pretty jazzed about it.
On a scale of 1 to 10, I probably give it like a high 7.
Same.
Okay. So that's the thing I think with Matt. Matt is just like, we end up grading something the same. We never really rank or grade things 1 to 10. We don't usually. It's fun when we do, but we don't usually do that. But we always have like the same meter with it. But like your high 7 is like, whoa, I was blown away. But my high 7 was like, it was fine. I feel like we did that with Mando season 3 a lot.
Yeah, probably. I think my thing is like 7, 8, 9, 7, 8, 9, 10 is like, I really liked this and enjoyed it and had fun. It did its job.
If it hits a 7, it's good. That's like the good / fine mark. I would say that 7 is like fine. 8 is good. 9's great.
Then I'd probably, I'd probably give it an 8. If we're using that like scale, I'd give it an 8.
Yeah.
Because I think it was better than just fine. I thought it was good.
Yeah. Which I give it like, I do decimals with mine. So I'll give it like a 7.
Wow. All right, good.
Because
I'm sure that I can't give it really adds a lot.
Maybe a 7.8. Maybe a 7.8.
Wow, a 7.8. All right.
Because okay. It's almost to that 8 of like it was good. I really liked it. But I did really like it. I had a good time in the theater. And that's all that
I had a good time watching it. And that's what an Indiana Jones movie is. If you didn't have a good time watching it, then you didn't like it. And
Yeah.
that's fine. You know, that's why a lot of people don't like Temple of Doom, because they don't
Oh,
have
yeah.
a good time watching it. I
That's a
don't blame
different.
you.
That's intentional though, at least. Like that you're not. That's supposed to be a tough one to get through.
True. It's my favorite. But
I feel like I'm in the minority with this one, but I didn't like, and you know this, I didn't like the de-aging.
I thought it was fine. I thought it was good.
But well, you know my issues with them doing it for Star Wars.
You and
It's
I
more
have a
of
different
like,
tolerance for it.
well, it's not the how it looks thing.
Yes, it
With
is.
with Star Wars, it's not for me. It's kind of like the moral AI kind of thing. Like it feels weird to me when they did it with Luke. But I think Luke looked very good. Like
Oh, okay.
I think he looked very, very good.
But why is it morally questionable if Mark Hamill is like on set, like there giving his like approval, and even in some cases doing the motion capture acting himself?
So it's not as much the Luke thing I have an issue. It's the dialogue with that. Like they
Well,
use like Microsoft Sam, but
yeah.
I mean
But look what happens when they
when
don't
you
use
and
Microsoft Sam. You get
yeah, that's
laryngitis
true.
Indiana Jones.
That is something. But I'm more so afraid of what they could do with the de-aging. Like if they have the OT characters
Well,
in these things, and
I
like
mean, they probably
I
are.
just don't want it everywhere because it is weird. It is weird that I noticed it so badly in Indiana Jones. Like I joked with you, and I saw people online that agreed. Only a few, but that it looked like Polar Express.
Yeah.
And someone even posted a still of Indy, not from the trailer, but one of the shots of him on the train in the movie, and at the beginning. And I was like, I could still see it. I can see it in his face. Like it doesn't look. It's not real.
It's a
Because
little
I put,
uncanny valley, you know.
and it's
Our
it
brains
looks
are hardwired
amazing.
to pick that up.
Like I said to you, it looks like a really good next gen video game.
Yeah.
It does, but it doesn't look like it doesn't look like actual Harrison Ford back in the day. Like, and I can see
Personally,
that.
I was fine with it. I thought it did its job well enough, and I was actually super jazzed to get an indie adventure happening like during the last days of World War II.
No, I
First of
love
all,
that.
during World
So
War II,
that was
and
some of the best parts
like
of the movie, if not
yeah,
the best part.
that
But
was
it's just
an
whenever they
awesome
showed the close-ups, I was like,
addition.
you know,
Yeah,
I could notice it. But
but for me, sometimes I'm just like, don't. I literally just tell my brain, I'm just like, don't bother, just watch
yeah,
it, you know, like don't.
no, that's the right way to go into it.
My
But
brain's like, no, dude, no, it's not real, and I'm like, yeah, I know, just ignore it, just forget it, like just move past it.
uh, but should I go on my tangent about being angry about people, or should I just not do that?
You already kind of did.
Yeah, but I teased it. So there's people. Okay, I'm not even going to talk about a specific person, but there's people who just like go off of YouTube reviews. And this is like why for HoloNet Marauders, I love to do our positive thing. But like we don't fake anything. Like I just said, Indy was
Yeah.
fine. I'm not here like, oh, it was amazing, best thing I've ever seen. So like, and Mando season 3 was a lot of that too, even though I loved Mando season 3. But there are YouTubers who are intentionally negative, I feel, and toxic just because
Yes.
that's more popular. That's what gets
It's
the
not,
views.
yeah, it's
That's
what gets
the
the clicks.
subs.
Outrage generates clicks far more
Yeah.
than positivity. That's just
And
how it is.
someone I know was going through YouTube thumbnails and like just like, oh look, this person said like this was bad or this was a disaster, and like a picture of like Kathleen Kennedy and like and Helena Shaw from the movie, and it's like, oh, disaster. But
They always have like the big wide eyes, and they always edit them to be like, ooh, like
yeah,
oh, just awful,
and
awful all around.
I was talking with some friends the other day, and we were talking about different things. He's very passionate about Marvel, kind of like we are with Star Wars. But we both like we're like a Venn diagram. We overlap with each other. We like each of the things. But we got to the point where we're both white guys, and you and I are both white guys.
A bunch of white. We're two white
We're
people.
a couple of white people. But we're both white men, and
The worst.
like those are the people. They have problems with women lead roles, and it's
they
like
do. I mean, they
it
really do.
That really bothers me. It's like, why? Like
It's hard to deny it at this point, because every single movie that's generated any of those kinds of controversies all have female leads, and they'll always say the same thing. They'll always say the same thing Oh, but we like Ellen Ripley and
Yeah.
Sarah Connor. Sarah Connor and Ellen Ripley are the only two female characters that gain universal acclaim. And look, I love Ellen Ripley and Sarah Connor,
Oh, yeah.
but I'm on an Alien kick right now, so I'm totally into Ellen Ripley right now. But still, I mean, it's not a coincidence that like Captain Marvel and the sequel trilogy and Indiana Jones and the Dial of Destiny, and so many people are focusing on Helena Shaw and Holdo and
Or even the new video game coming out, which looks awesome, Outlaws. You play
Yeah.
as a woman, so it's
and
like
that was the same thing where it's like, I wish we could change our character,
But there's been so many times where
and I'm
I
not
play a
saying
game-
everybody who wanted to change their character or customize their character is
Right.
sexist
'Cause
and
some people
doesn't
just
want to play
wanna-
as a woman. No, that's not what I'm saying.
Right.
Obviously, a vast majority of those people just wanted to create some character,
they
like my
to
friend Zach,
customize things.
who's
Yeah.
like, "Oh, I want to play as a Jedi." I hope Zach
But-
doesn't watch these. He does. Hi, Zach.
We're not calling out Zach.
I'm calling
necessarily,
out
but
Zach
We love Zach
right now.
But those people just really bother me, and like I wanted to get on here on our platform and just complain about those people. And if you're one of those people,
Maybe watch our videos and gain a new perspective.
Yeah, like-
and change your ways. Because as a Star Wars fan, I have to believe that there is redemption for everyone. As long, we're not going as far as in Star Wars, where like war criminals are actually secretly good people waiting for their chance. But for something as inconsequential as being, a dumbass sexist YouTuber, you can change your ways. There's still hope for you. Watch our videos. Enjoy some positivity.
I mean, I don't know. People just have, like we said, gotta rethink things, guys. You gotta be better. So let's move on. This was a little section I wanted to dedicate to Matt here, because I don't have much to say on this. But what are you into right now in Star Wars? Like you said, you're into Alien, but with Star Wars, what's your current thing?
Yeah, because my brain kind of does operate where I'm like, ooh, hyperfixation on one thing, but like in the back of my mind, it's always like, ooh, Star Wars. Well, I'm wrapping up my read through of the original Star Wars 2015 run. I'm literally on Empire Ascendant, which is the last mini series before we go to post Empire Strikes Back content. In
That's the good
terms
stuff there.
of Star Wars and what I've been thinking about lately, mostly the comments from Kathleen Kennedy that says that Dawn of the Jedi and New Jedi Order are going to kind of connect in some way.
That's a segment I have ready to go next. So.
Holy crap. Well, there it is. That's what I've been thinking about a lot. I've been getting, it's so funny because, oh my God, Dial of Destiny is not doing well. And James Mangold, we know Lucasfilm's record with directors who don't have a movie that doesn't do well before they're slated to do this one. So maybe it's a bad time to be like thinking of Dawn of the Jedi and getting excited about Dawn of the Jedi, but I'm thinking about it and getting excited about it. Please, Lucasfilm, if you're listening, and I know you are, don't get rid of James Mangold just because Indy's flopping. I don't care.
What do you think the reason behind the flopping is? I know we moved on to Star Wars here, but it kind of over.
That's a number thing. I think the movie got like a B+ cinema score. So audiences have been kind of mixed on it. Pretty middling.
Well, I mean, I've told you we were playing Minecraft or something, and I was telling you my opinion that like I don't think the younger generation is, and at this point, the school's out. Kids and families are going to the movies, and like I don't think they're into indie these days as much as Star Wars or Marvel or the more exciting things. And like,
which is a shame.
The release was weird because it was 4th of July weekend. Like up here in New England, the weather was terrible, so it was a great time to go to the movies. But who was really who like if it's 4th of July weekend, maybe people travel to the beach or something, the lake. But like, who's going to the movies? I don't know. And also it's smack dab in the middle of all these monster, like I would say monster movies, but monster in terms of like people want to go see them. Like I'll be going to see Mission Impossible, Dead Reckoning. Like I've caught up on those. Those are just super adventurous. Like Indy's
Yeah.
80. Harrison Ford's 80 years old, and Tom Cruise is 61, which is crazy. But he's
And
doing
Tom
crazy things
Cruise
in those.
said he's going to be continuing to play Ethan Hunt until he wants to
he's
outpace
80.
Harrison Jones. Harrison
Harrison
Jones.
But yeah,
He
you
wants
have.
to outpace Harrison Ford in playing Ethan Hunt, which I think is funny. That's going to
Did
be
he?
like,
Did he actually say that?
he actually said that because somebody asked him, you're getting up there. Harrison Ford just came back as Indy, and he was like, oh, I want to keep playing in Mission Impossible movies until I'm that age. I want to
You know
outpace
what?
him.
He'll probably die doing it.
Honestly, I think
I
that's
hate
how he
to
wants
say
to go
that,
out
but
at this point.
yeah.
I think that's how he wants to go out.
But those movies, the Mission Impossible movies, if you guys haven't seen those, they keep getting better with reviews. Like the Rotten Tomatoes for the last one was like 97. This new one's at a 99, which is crazy.
Like, Jesus Christ, guys! They
They're
really
just
know what they're doing.
Yeah, they do. But what else? Like Oppenheimer is coming out.
Yep.
Barbie's coming out. That's a whole meme. Those are both going to do fantastic.
Barbenheimer. Yeah.
And we had Guardians come out a little while ago. What else has come out recently?
What came out? The Transformers movie, if you care about that.
But I mean, honestly, kids are going to go see that instead of seeing indie probably. So
you're probably right. Yeah, I mean, you're probably right. And what just came out like 2 weeks ago? Something big came out 2 weeks ago that I'm forgetting. Right? Maybe 3 weeks ago. Whatever.
But yeah, the point is like indies come out smack dab in the middle of all these other movies, and maybe that's part of it. It's expensive to go to the movies. Like it might be like $50 for Jamie and I to go get 2 tickets. Like that's expensive.
Yeah, really. No, and Alex from Star Wars Explained kind of touched on this too in one of his latest videos. He said that he's, after the pandemic, he's no longer like a completionist. Like a lot of people just skip movies now because they don't. They don't feel obligated to go to the movies anymore to see them.
This movie's going to be out on Disney Plus in a month or maybe 2 months, month or two. I don't know. Like just wait till then and see it. Like that's probably where a lot of people stand. You and I are more diehard indie fans. So.
We might be hearing how indie's doing really well on Disney Plus, when it comes out. And it's like, wish you guys had gone to see it in the theater. But I mean, the stakes are pretty low. I mean, Dawn of the Jedi, I really want that to happen. So I really hope that this doesn't tarnish James Mangold's reputation with Lucasfilm.
I don't think it will. I mean, he's
still
an excellent director. He has like amazing movies under his belt.
They've let people go for less.
Yeah.
We all thought Rogue Squadron was going to be the next Star Wars movie. That was a pretty much like a done deal, slam dunk. And then all of a sudden that's no longer, on
I think
it's
still in the it's in the
pipeline. It's in development, but I don't know if that's. I think the 3 movies they announced at Celebration were the ones that will be coming out soon.
Absolutely. We know most likely 2 are going to come out in 2026.
We don't know that for sure. I would bet most of my life savings that they're not going to release 2 Star Wars movies in 2026.
I hope you're right.
And one of them alongside friggin' Avengers. Did they learn nothing from Solo? They have to be the stupidest idiots on the planet. Lucasfilm, if you're listening,
and Indy,
and I know you are, don't be the stupidest idiots on the planet and release a Star Wars movie. First of all, not in December. Stop that. Stop trying to make the May releases happen. I know that was the first 6 movies, but that's not happening anymore. We're done.
Yeah.
We've moved on from that. Nobody wants to see a Star Wars movie in spring anymore. They all want to see them at Christmas.
Lump Indy into there. I know Indy's a very
I'll lump Indy in there too. So like, but yeah,
Lucasfilm only release films at Christmas time.
Lucasfilm,
that's when we want them.
Don't be dummies. Don't release a Star Wars movie alongside an Avengers movie for the love of God. I don't care. I delay the movies. Do like 26, 27, 28, 26, 28, 30. I don't care.
Whatever you want, yeah.
Push back one of the Avatar movies. You're getting like 8 of them. You don't have to worry about those anymore. Just release them when you want to. They'll make $2 billion no matter when you release them. Just don't do that. Don't release 2 Star Wars movies in the same year. It's a bad idea. That's all I'm saying.
It is all Disney money between Avengers and Star Wars at the end of the day.
And I really, really hope in 2026 we're not like cutting back to this and being like, look at Matt railing about this right like in May of 2026, right before the new Star Wars movie comes out, and we're like cutting back to this going, uh-oh, Matt.
See, I don't think it'll be, if they do the May and December thing, I don't think it would be quite a Solo thing, because like Solo situation, because that was December and May. Like we had
True.
just gotten one in December. This would be the first Star Wars movie in a while, and that
And
would
like
be
Lucasfilm marketing
first.
forgot that movie existed.
Yeah.
And then like a month before, they like called the guy at his desk, and he was just lounging around, and they were like, "Hey, did you get on Solo yet?" And he hops up, he's like, "Oh shit!" And then the marketing campaign started in like friggin' May.
So we most likely know. I shouldn't say we know. We think that the Rey movie will be first.
Yep.
Then
I think
the
we know
Filoni
that.
movie.
I think that's pretty confirmed at this point.
Yeah, because I mean, I think they're filming soon or in
They
pre-production
start.
soon. So.
Rumor has it April 2024 is when they're going to start filming. If
Okay.
the writer's strike ends soon,
Right.
or ends. I mean, we've heard rumors that it's going to continue on until the end of the year, which, you know, more power to them. Like, give them what they want. Stop, you know, jerking writers around and actually like pay them living wages and stop treating them like crap and give them, you know, the meager demands. It's not like they're asking for a lot. So yeah, full 100% support for the writer's strike here. Don't,
absolutely.
Don't misconstrue me wanting the writer's strike to end with me wanting writers to get screwed over. No, I want it to go as long as they get what they want.
Yeah. And they will eventually. I think they will. I mean,
I hope so.
Something's got to give eventually. So
yeah, you say that, but
as much as they want AI to write everything, it's not going to work. So what I was getting to was the Rey movie. What if you had to pick, if you were working for Lucasfilm and you were choosing what's the scheduling person of the movies coming out, what order would you put those coming out? Like, what do you think? Because Lucasfilm wants this next movie to make buckets of money.
True.
And what's going to do that?
I might have put the Mando movie first.
Yeah, I think you're probably right.
That I think is the most guaranteed way to get butts and seats. It's a movie with Grogu in it. People are going to go see a movie with Grogu in it.
Yeah.
That's just how it is, you know? And if we're talking about, I mean, really, it could be chronological. This is like the big culmination of the Mando, you know, saga. That ends, and then we move on to Rey and her Jedi Order. We get a Luke, you know, we probably are going to see Luke in some capacity in this movie. And I'm thinking it's probably going to be, you know, bigger than just his cameo in Book of Boba Fett. But if that is the case, then you give everybody what they want. We have a Luke movie to end all Luke movies, and then we go to Rey. That would be a great parallel, because Luke and Rey are basically in the exact same spot in terms of their Jedi. You know, Luke might be a little earlier, but not a lot. He's still he's getting his Jedi Order, you know, rolling. He's dealing with problems in the galaxy post Empire, and Rey is getting her Jedi Order moving forward and dealing with her problems post First Order. So you could definitely like have a parallel between Luke, Rey, and, you know, that whole thing. You satisfy the hell out of people with a Mando movie, and more people are going to now be intrigued and excited about the prospect of seeing Jedi on the screen again. And they're going to want to see Rey's movie, because Rey's movie is probably going to have a lot of Jedi, or at least more than one.
Yeah.
And then you can do Dawn of the Jedi. You can give everybody what they want and give us, you know, 100 Jedi.
That's going to be interesting.
And I'm super excited about that.
Which, speaking of Jedi, I totally forgot about the Acolyte. Like that,
dude.
For a while, that was my number one project
totally
for a while.
The ball, because I'm actually getting more hyped about Acolyte as the days go on. Ahsoka and Acolyte, I think, are like, I'm super hyped about this combo of like Ahsoka and then Acolyte.
When is Acolyte supposed to come out?
Probably early 2024. Okay. Like probably March or April, if I were to guess.
Right. January?
Probably not.
Probably not.
Probably not.
Yeah, I mean, for the longest time when we had the slate of projects coming out and we didn't know when they were coming out, I was always like, oh, Acolyte. And Jamie, I think, was the same. And I think you had it at 1 or 2. So like,
yeah.
But I always forget about it. I don't know why.
Don't forget Skeleton Crew. You forgot Skeleton Crew. That's going to be the January show.
Is it? You think?
Yeah, because they said it was 2023, and I believe them.
What is that?
I believe that it's going to be like December 29th, 2023, but technically still 2023. But
what is that show going to contribute? Like, I think
it's
it'll
going to
just.
be
Is it just going to be a fun story?
kid
Like,
adventure in space. Yeah.
well, which I think will be. I mean, I'm looking forward to it. To a degree. Like, I think it'll be fun. And Jude Law's in it, and Jude Law's usually
Jude
pretty
Law,
awesome.
yeah.
So, I just don't know if it ties into the greater picture. Like, maybe it doesn't have to, but
I mean, isn't it? It's taking place after, or like during. It's taking place during the New Republic.
right.
So I would assume it would tie into everything else.
Would those characters appear in these other projects?
I bet they would appear in the movie.
I mean, you don't get Jude Law and not use him anymore.
Yeah.
He's probably expensive, but you don't get someone that big and only have them in one little miniseries or something. I don't know.
If,
That'd be strange to me.
he's supposed to be like the teacher or the mentor of the group,
He probably dies.
Mentors don't last very long in Star Wars.
Something I wanted to bring up, kind of not necessarily Star Wars related, but it is in a way. I was looking at this recently because Indy hasn't been doing well at the box office.
Right.
And I wanted to see like how many movies have done well since since the movies opened back up during COVID.
Yeah.
And we know every Star Wars movie except Solo hit $1 billion. Did Rogue One hit $1 billion?
Yeah.
They all hit $1 billion. So they were all very successful. So since the pandemic, I think only 2 movies have hit $1 billion, unless this is an outdated thing.
Well, I mean,
Spider-Man No Way Home got 1.9 billion.
Yeah.
Top Gun Maverick got $1 billion.
Well, you're leaving out a big one.
Oh,
the third highest grossing movie of all time.
Oh, Avatar.
Avatar: Way of Water broke $2 billion in like its first friggin' weekend.
It was an older article. There's probably something else I'm forgetting too, but
I'm trying to think. I can't think of another movie that reached $1 billion. Oh, Flash. Not The Flash hitting $1 billion. No, but if The Flash was the movie that came out like 2 weeks ago that I was trying to remember.
Oh, right. But yeah, I mean, No Time to Die, Daniel Craig's final movie, that made $774 million. So
that's nothing to shake a.
I know.
Shake a. What's the? I don't know the phrase. I always say that's nothing to shake a stick at. Shake a stick at. That's it. Shake a stick at.
The battle at Lake Changjing. I don't know what this movie is. It actually looks awesome, but $902 million.
That's probably $902 million. That sounds like a. Where is that from?
It is a Chinese movie.
Okay.
Approved and stamped by the Chinese Communist Party to celebrate the 100th anniversary. Well, anyways, it was
that makes sense.
The highest grossing non-English film at the time.
There you go.
So that's pretty cool. Doctor Strange: Multiverse of Madness made $947 million.
We jumped from communist China approved movie to Doctor Strange.
To Doctor Strange. I don't think Quantumania did very well, did it?
No, Quantumania did not do very well.
But the whole point of this is that the movie theater in the box office has drastically changed since the pandemic. So like going back to Alex, like a lot of people think like that, where we don't need to go to the movies as much. Like we can wait for we pay for all these streaming services. Like let's wait for them to come out on that maybe. And that's where I am with Marvel right now. Like I don't know the next Marvel movie I'll go to the theaters for.
Yeah, it's not the Marvels. Well, it is the Marvels. That's the next one.
That's the next one. But I mean, the next Spider-Man movie, whenever that comes, that would bring me in.
Hey, you missed Across the Spider-Verse. I mean, that's mind-boggling to me.
I know. Well, I never saw the first one, so everyone yell at me in the comments. I haven't seen it.
Oh my god, I forgot about that. You haven't. Oh my god, you have to see that.
I do.
You're a Spider-Man fan. You have to see Into the Spider-Verse.
I'm a weird Spider-Man fan. Well, clearly.
Yeah, you are.
It took me a year to see Homecoming and it blew me away when I saw it.
Oh my god.
But anyways, we talked about Dawn and Ray and James Mangold, but this final piece is like why I wanted to have a podcast recording today with Matt, and that is Jason Sindola.
Woo!
So funny story, you guys, I mentioned this a few times, but I work part-time over at a used Lego store, not like the Lego store, but it's a used Lego store, and it's really fun. We get all these old sets in all the time, always showing Matt. But I took a break yesterday, and I came back, and Jamie texted me about the Lego leak, love Lego leaks, about the Lego Ghosts, which will be in Ahsoka. So the set is for that. It's coming out with the show in September 1st, I think. Gonna get it day one. But I'm looking at the figures. I'm like, okay, there's Hera, looks cool. What's her new look? And I wait, that's Jason Sandilla, and it said it. And like no one else in the store was excited because I don't think they do care about the content a little. A lot of them haven't seen Rebels and Clone Wars and all that. But I mean, I love Lego, but I'm there for the Star Wars content. Like I get the Lego because I like the Star Wars content. So I was excited about Jason, and I'm at this weird point where everyone knows I'm a Ben Solo fan, and I've been dying for Ben Solo to appear in these New Republic things. There was rumors he was gonna in, I think, Book of Boba, and it didn't happen with Han. He was gonna be with Han, just chilling.
Yeah, right.
And I just that I love Ben Solo, but I think I'm at a weird place where I love Jason Sandilla almost as much, which is hilarious because
That's so funny. He has
I think he's
appeared in
just so
0.2
cool.
seconds of. I mean, dude,
well,
you
he's
know
the
me.
son of. I mean, I love Han and Leia, but he's the offspring of two of my favorite. You love Kanan, and I'm the Hera
He's
person.
the son
so
of my favorite Jedi, like of all time.
Yeah.
Kanan Jarrus is my favorite friggin' Jedi of all time, and he's the son of Kanan Jarrus. Oh my god, dude.
and Hera.
And Hera. You love Hera. I'm the Kanan guy. I love Hera too. I can't say I don't love Hera. Hera's like probably my second favorite member of the Ghost Crew.
Yeah.
For sure, actually. What am I saying? Probably. But I friggin' love Kanan. And the fact that he has a son, and oh my god, I always say this.
That he can't see. Well, technically, through the Force. He's there. He's there.
It's debatable on
watching.
whether or not you retain your consciousness after you die.
He's
in
taking
Star
a peek.
Wars. He's taking a peek.
Yeah.
I mean, he did kind of appear as the wolves, I guess, if you want to look at that as him specifically and not just the Force kind of acting through him. I don't. It's all up in the air. But anyway.
But this was huge. Not just.
This is huge. I mean,
we didn't know he was going to be in the show.
Pumped.
We were kind of like, oh, he might be there. And
yeah.
Going back,
you've always railed against me, worrying that he wasn't going to be in the show. So what are you talking about? We could probably go back.
I've always thought he
was
going to be in the show.
Like, Matt, will you chill? Of course he's going to be in the show.
Okay, but I was probably like 33% sure.
30, and you were railing against me.
That's a good chance.
33%.
That's a third.
My ass.
So we go back to Celebration Anaheim.
Yeah.
They show. I don't think this trailer has been shown still. That you and I
No.
saw the exclusive trailer, and it shows the little hand reaching out to a cup. I think the cup moves. I'm not sure.
Yeah.
But we're always like, okay, little kid. It's the sequel of Rebels here. Who could it be? I'm like, oh, it's definitely Jason. And that has been my number one most excited thing for this show since then.
Dude.
I forgot about it until yesterday because I'm like, that probably is Jason.
And that sets up, I mean, there's infinite potential with this kid. He could become one of Luke's students and probably survive. Again, just because Luke's temple is destroyed does not mean all of his students have to be dead by the time the sequels show up. I mean, this is the same complaint people could levy against Ahsoka in the Clone Wars. In fact, it is the complaint people levy.
Jason Sandilla is the new
Ahsoka in the
Ahsoka.
Clone Wars. He is basically. Honestly, I'm gonna go with that. I'm gonna roll with that comparison. I'm gonna say he is the Ahsoka of
Is Ezra
Luke's
gonna
temple.
call him like Snips or
yeah?
I don't know. I can't think of a better nickname.
And then he's gonna call Ezra Bridge Guy.
Hey, Bridge Guy. Wait a minute.
Bridge Guy.
Sky Bridge. I don't know.
What was that? You're connecting something?
Bridges are in the sky almost. If you're really far below.
Sure, like the Golden Gate Bridge, I guess. Sure.
Yeah, sure.
It's pretty
It's
pretty
a foggy
tall.
day.
Yeah.
So, anyways, what's cool is Kanan was master to Ezra, and now Ezra could be master to Jason, which is
I
creepy.
literally cannot possibly tell you how cool that would be for Kanan to train Ezra, and then for Ezra to train.
Ezra probably doesn't even know that there is a
son.
kid.
No, he doesn't. Of course he doesn't. He hasn't kept in contact with them. He wasn't there. He left as soon.
He was there when. I won't say anything.
He was. Go ahead.
No. Well, he knew Hera and Kanan were obviously together, so maybe it wouldn't be
Yeah.
that surprising that they had a kid. So
No, it probably wouldn't surprise him, but I mean,
his
well,
room
it
wasn't
probably
too
would
far away
surprise him,
from
but he wouldn't.
theirs.
Yeah, there you go. Oh,
That's
jeez.
what I was trying to get to. But anyways, let's get to how he looks. And it was funny because when you're working, when you're doing like real work in the real world, and you're
Yeah.
not focusing on like the internet like we do a lot of the time, I come back to think like I have thoughts, and then I come back and I'm like, oh, people are making a big deal about that. Like that's interesting. But apparently, I was gonna say something online about how like, oh, why doesn't he have green hair? But that had already become a touchy subject within an hour. Um, so I do think it's very interesting he doesn't. And this we're going off a Lego minifigure. Legos don't have ears, which Jason does have pointy elf ears that are a little green in Rebels.
He
Also has
does.
green eyebrows and green hair in Rebels. In this, he has brown hair and brown eyebrows.
You see his ears in Rebels? I didn't even notice that.
Yeah, of course. It's the number one thing I look at. He has the elf ears.
First thing I Google when I Google Jason Syndulla is Jason Syndulla.
Where did you think his ears were if you couldn't see them?
I thought his hair was shaggier.
No,
But
his
yeah,
ears
those
are
are
there.
his ears are round though, but they're green.
They're still long as hell.
Yeah, they are. They're big ears, big flappy
The best
ears.
thing to compare them to is elf ears.
Yeah,
but it is interesting because it's a Twi'lek and a human had a kid, and like how would that work? And I guess that I thought they did a pretty good job. I mean, the Rebels animation makes it look weird, but
yeah. Well,
I
a
mean,
lot of stuff looks weird in the Rebels.
I don't care about
style.
his hair. Like apparently, I was born with like red hair. Like
look at your
ginger.
beard.
Well, I know I still have a ginger beard, but my hair is
You're
black.
Barbarossa over there, dude.
I have very dark black or brown hair. But I kept the red facial hair. I guess it stayed. So like maybe Jason Sedilla, his hair turned brown, blackish like Kanan, and he'll have green facial hair.
Oh, that'd be great.
Be
I'd
awesome.
love that. I'd be so that's it. That's what I'm looking forward to.
But I really hope he
stash.
does have something that makes him look different, because it'd be weird to have scenes with Hera like talking about her son there and everything, and he's just like a human being when Hera is clearly not. So
yeah, it would be kind of weird.
He'll have the ears. He'll have something weird with his ears.
They definitely have to play into the fact that he's a hybrid.
Yeah.
He's not just a human. I'm honestly surprised they didn't go with green hair. I think green hair would have been the easiest thing to do.
Yeah.
But who knows?
I'm obsessed with Jason Syndulla and like all the different ways of like what he could be, just like how cute he is, and like for us diehard Rebels fans, like he's like our kid. Everyone
he's
that
the
loves
legacy
that show,
character for Rebels.
Yeah, he's all of our kid.
I love legacy characters. I love characters that kind of take the torch after it's passed on and continue the spirit of what our original favorite heroes, fought for. And Jason is the best of his mom and probably the best of his dad. I mean, he probably might be the worst of them too. And I think that would be exciting. Maybe he has a French accent when he gets angry. I just watched that episode the other day and I was like, oh my God, that's such a cool detail.
I love that.
Like nobody notices.
The one where Cham shows up.
Yeah. And she's like arguing with him and she's yelling and all of a sudden she learns French. Yeah. And he
I love that.
Like, stand straight. You're making me look bad. How do I look? I love Kanan.
In front of the
I love Kanan.
I love that.
Anyway.
Is Cham still kicking? He's still
sadly.
You don't like Cham?
I like Cham. He's cool.
Well, Cham's a bit of an asshole in Rebels, but
he's
a
awesome
wild card. Bad Batch.
He's a wild card.
Well, he's kind of like Saw Gerrera in a way.
He is. He's definitely somebody who has like goals and he'll just do anything to achieve them.
I want to see more Cham. Fighter.
And those are those kinds of people. Yeah, me too. He wasn't in Resistance Reborn, though.
No, they used another.
Could indicate that he's dead.
I mean, knowing him, he's probably dead because he's pretty hardcore and dangerous lifestyle.
True.
Gobi, his like right-hand man / basically not brother, but they call him Uncle Gobi.
Uncle Gobi, yeah.
They named the Resistance, not the blaster the Resistance uses is called the Glee, And I always loved that one, but for the longest time I was like, wait, it's Go Weekly. They named it after him. I don't know why they did that. That's a weird detail.
I don't either, but that's great.
Why didn't they
And
name
of
it the
course,
Chim? Or
I don't
like,
know. The
so
right,
Gobi's dead. You don't name something after a guy that is alive.
that's true. That would mean that Numa's probably dead too. And
Damn.
Numa's a big legacy character because she was saved by
Yeah.
Waxer and Boyle, who
And
then
she has the
carried
little
her face on their
yeah.
helmet. And
I love all that.
me too.
I
Waxer
love
and Boyle might be some of my favorite clones of all time.
I love the Ryloth stuff. I love the Twi'lek stuff.
I want to sit down. You know, I kind of wish I showed my dad, because when we sat down to watch Rebels, because this was for my dad to kind of catch up to where we're going to be in Ahsoka. So I used it as an excuse to rewatch Rebels. But I showed him the Mandalore arc in the Clone Wars of like Darth Maul taking
Oh no, okay.
Well, taking over Mandalore, killing Duchess Satine, taking the Darksaber, all that. I figured that was pretty important for Rebels. And, you know, obviously now that he knows who Bo-Katan is, I figured, you know, this is her origin story, basically, dude. So you get to check that out. And then I did the Siege of Mandalore before we started Rebels. But I honestly think I should have also done the Ryloth stuff in Bad Batch. Maybe like a Ryloth, one of the Ryloth arcs, maybe the Wax and Boyle arc in Clone Wars.
Has he not watched Bad Batch?
He has watched Bad Batch. But
the Ryloth arc's awesome. I mean, it's Terra, Chopper,
everybody
Jen.
always benefits from rewatching things.
Right.
You always benefit from the rewatch.
Give it a rewatch.
But now we're too far in.
Yeah.
And I think later today, what time is it? I think we'll probably have time. I'm going to finish season 2, which means I get to watch Twilight of the Apprentice, which means I get to lose my shit because that is my favorite Star Wars, some of my favorite Star Wars of all time. So I'm really excited about that.
Has your dad been enjoying it? Or so you're just kind of like, meh?
No, he's been enjoying it. He likes it.
Well, I mean,
I think Zeb's his favorite character.
Oh, Zeb's awesome.
And he loves Zeb in Mando now. He's like, oh man.
Sometimes Zeb is like my favorite. Like Jamie and I always joke about how you can make an argument for every Ghost Crew member of like and why they're the best one.
Who are we talking to that said like Zeb is Chewbacca who can talk? I forget who said that.
That's basically what he is.
I mean, it is, but it like works like really.
Zeb's
well,
so funny.
I think.
I'm always slapping my knee whenever Zeb says something. He's
Zeb
so
is
chill,
also.
But he's so, I don't know.
Zeb is also just like really like smart. Like he's a street smart dude. He's not just like a dumb oaf character.
No, he's like
even
Chewie.
though he's
Chewie's
like the
smart.
brawn. Yeah.
Although Chewie falls for the food and
the
Return
deer,
of the Jedi.
the asshole deer.
Yeah. Although Zeb thinks with his stomach too sometimes, I feel.
Yeah. Well, Zeb's got some moron moments, but then he's got more smart moments. He knows what he's doing.
Yeah.
He's not like I'm sorry, Jamie. He's not like Wrecker.
No, I mean we would all say Wrecker's dumb. I mean, of course he's dumb. I don't think anyone thinks he's smart. Yeah, he's had a few moments, but he's dumb. But yeah, I mean, I'm excited for Ahsoka, obviously. Not as much as you. Like
we're a month away, basically, month and a half.
Yeah.
And I am the most hyped I've been for anything Star Wars since Rise of Skywalker. This is definitely like my most anticipated thing, I think.
Yeah.
And it's a month and a half away. Like I can't believe we're that close.
Once it starts for me, like I just need these things to come out and like be watching them, and then I'll be into it and thinking about it. I have a hard time like I don't know. I have a hard time getting like over the moon hyped about things until they like start. Like Andor, but I don't think anyone was going into Andor like
no offense, I wasn't hyped for Andor, but I was, I was like, ooh.
Yeah, I was looking forward to it
fun.
and the premise of it being a spy thriller. But once it started, I was like hooked. So this will definitely be the same thing, I think. And then what's after Ahsoka? Skeleton Crew. Which we keep forgetting about. Okay. So Ahsoka will run from like August 30th or 23rd, I forget.
August probably to like mid-October, late October.
It's gonna be starting and over before we know it. 8 episodes.
Yep.
Yeah.
And then after that, I think Skeleton Crew is probably going to be December, if I were to guess. but like the end of December into like January. So we're gonna probably
Like
be
that Book
like
of Boba
January,
time.
February. Yeah.
Yeah.
And then, you know, I might actually push my Acolyte guest to maybe like April or May.
Kind of like Mando. We always do, we base it
Yeah.
off like how they've been doing it. But
Mando
that is what they
started in
do.
March.
Oh, true. So maybe it'll be.
Obi-Wan. Obi-Wan was May.
Oh, you're right. When's Bad Batch 3 coming out? Do we
You know,
think?
just pick a show and just put Bad Batch, like just slap it right over it and
Oh, it
have them
definitely
run
will, because there's
concurrently.
like 3 projects coming out next year. Is Andor next year as well?
Yeah, dude.
Next fall?
Next fall, probably
Wow.
probably August again, probably the
Yeah.
Ahsoka time slot. So we're getting 3 shows next year, basically. How many shows did we get this year? 3. Well, 2.5. I want to count. I mean, if we're counting live action shows, we got 2
I count them all. But
and
yeah, you can count
Skeleton
them.
Crew kind of tacked on there. If we're talking all shows, then we got 3 this year and we'll get 4 next year, which is like wild.
That is. But yeah, this was our like. I was telling Matt we're gonna do a news roundup. I kind of worded that wrong. It was more of a thoughts roundup.
Thoughts roundup down.
But the other thing I wanted to point out, and we're gonna end here in like a minute, but the Lego leak, it says it's coming out September 1st, and this is kind of like, hopefully we're getting back on track with things coming out with, and by things I mean merchandise and toys and everything coming out with the projects. I was gonna say movies or shows, but last year a set came out with Andor when that was coming out, and like it looks like all these Ahsoka toys, and like Ahsoka is the best thing to merchandise. Like there's so much crap you can do,
and she's like super recognizable now. She's like one of the biggest Star Wars characters around.
And I don't know if it's I don't know if it was a COVID thing or what, but everything fell off pace since Rise of Skywalker and Mando season 1. Toys, like there hasn't been Force Fridays, and I mean there haven't been movies. It's easier to merchandise around a movie, I feel, than a show.
Yeah.
But
and you were just reminded me that in a week or so we're getting San Diego Comic-Con. And that's gonna probably, there's a rumor that we're gonna get the TVC Ghost leak or the Ghost reveal then.
I hope so.
Which because that also means the Rebels characters are entering into the vintage collection, and I mean that's.
Do you think it'll be the Rebels Ghost, or they'll do like?
I think it's Rebels.
Ahsoka Ghost.
No, I think it's Rebels Ghost.
Okay. Well, I'm excited.
And the Rebels crew, I think, are coming to TVC. Don't quote me on that, but I'm pretty sure that's what it is. And this week's G-Fest, and you know what that means?
I don't know what that means.
It's Godzilla Fest. And
wow.
There's been a Twitter account. The Japanese Godzilla Twitter account has been counting down with every Godzilla movie starting at 30, all the way down to 1. Tomorrow, they're reaching 1. And then I think on Tuesday, they're going to announce the new Japanese Godzilla movie that comes out later this year.
Wow.
Rumored to be Godzilla 0. And I think the countdown is specifically so that it will reach Godzilla 1 and then they'll go Godzilla 0, you know. Really excited about that. That's going to take place in like 1945, which is before the first one took place in 1954. So it's going to be like it's going to be earlier in the timeline. I'm super excited to see that.
Yeah. Go check out Matt's Godzilla podcast called Roar with Matt. I don't know.
That's it. Go
roaring around with Matt.
Any day, roaring around. There you go. That's better.
Just kidding. He does not have a Godzilla podcast, but maybe
I gotta find
he should
somebody who likes Godzilla like I do.
If you like Godzilla, message us, comment below, hit up Matt. And
talk to me about starting a podcast, and then I can talk over you, just like I talk over my other co-hosts.
And with that, before I'm talked over one more time, this has been AJ and Matt. I don't usually do the sign out, so this is weird. Sign offs. HoloNet Marauders. You can check us out on Twitter at HoloNet Marauder, no S. We're now on Threads. I don't know if that's going to be around. Instagram's Twitter variant. We're on there at HoloNet Marauders. We have a fun Instagram page. Yeah, check out our Patreon too, like we mentioned before. If this is the first episode you watch, check out all of our episodes and all our funny things. We'll have some live streams coming up soon, and stay tuned.